everybody. Welcome to another episode of Classroom Brew. This is the podcast where we get ripped. No, we don't get ripped. Sometimes. A few times it's happened. We've gotten a little bit off the rails. We did a podcast marathon once where it was like winter break or some shit. It wasn't like a weeknight, I promise you. Teachers have to be prudes, But we for sure went for it with the drinking that time. The sound you're going to hear is the mic stand, not me. Swear to God, it's the mic stand. You can watch on the video podcast. Speaking of that, patreon.com/classroombrew if you want to check out the video podcast and other bonus content, including getting some podcast merch. Right now we got the koozies, the coasters, the shot glasses, all that stuff, including some bonus behind-the-scenes content and things like that. So huge shout out to our Patreon members. You'll hear that Patreon tribute song at the end of this episode, as always. That's about it. Rating and reviews. Are those even a thing that matter anymore? I don't know. Spotify's taking over. Who the fuck cares? So it's been a while. Haven't done a video podcast in a bit. I think the last video podcast was the big episode, bit.ly/teacher8. Go there to check that out with the whole epic green screen. And forget that. We're not doing that much green screen on this one. Just a regular background. If you haven't seen the video podcast, there's green screen because I'm trying to make it different until maybe we move. I don't know. The ceilings in this place are high and there's echoes really bad. So maybe that's something we got to do is move somewhere else where it's not a problem. For the sake of the podcast, we already have a studio in the other room. Anyways, I was looking over. I was at Mariano's actually, and I saw that The Rock, who is like the male version of Beyonce to most men, right? He has a tequila. Or some shit. Like, this isn't like some Entourage stuff. This is like he has an actual tequila called Termana? Hang on. I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna walk. We'll cut it. Maybe we'll keep it the same. I'm gonna look and see what's the name of it. Termana tequila. Literally the name of it. Literally got it. Probably the first time ever. Just straight up getting up in the middle of a podcast. Over 3 years, first time ever just getting up to look something up because I didn't have the resource with me. You're welcome. I guess we all have to buy that tequila now because The Rock is aside from the steroids, stop using steroids if you're using steroids. Your lats or your traps are huge. There's no way you're not. We all care about you. We want you to succeed. Maybe cool it with those. Not a doctor at all. So we started a new segment. And I want to jump right into it because I'm pretty excited about this one because we actually got a lot of responses at ClassroomBrew or classroombrew@gmail.com if you want to send me a student confession from your time as a K through 12 student. I think we all know this one. This first one is me that I should have done in the first segment, or the first time we did this segment rather, and that is my bus duty classic story. That arguably, it probably endeared me to my teachers if they ever found out. So that I want to formally apologize to Mr. Beelan, who was our gym teacher. I believe he's now retired. He was also like the coach or something. I don't remember what it was. I want to formally apologize because he was the leader of the bus duty thing. And I for sure pretended to be on it. And as my way of getting out of class a little bit early. I think it was like 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And science class was always last. And I was like, I got this shit. So I pretended to be on it. And I apologize, Mr. Beelan. I honestly, I would help a group of kids cross, but I would just keep going. And I think even one year, I kind of just went with it. And I think by the 3rd year that I was doing this shit, I think eventually I just got called to the yearbook photo for the bus duty helper people, whatever the fuck it's called. So I apologize. This one is from, we're going to keep these anonymous. So mine will obviously not be anonymous if I have one that week. But this one is, we'll say the name of the teacher. Okay, these are common names. I'm probably going to mispronounce them. It doesn't matter. I'm going to read it as is. Mrs. DeMayer. I don't know how to start. Maybe I hope it's a typo. I hope it is. If not, they probably had a hard childhood, this teacher, when they were saying that last name. Or their husband or wife, whoever name they took, or maybe they kept their name. I don't know. Maybe they're progressive. Who knows? When I was in 6th grade, you had a rule against gum in class. All right, common. As a show of strength, I purposefully bought blue gum just so that just so that I could stick it on your blue desk chair without you seeing it very clearly. It's like the tax on the tax on the teacher's chair. Why couldn't I think of the word chair? Having a stroke. It's a Friday. After a long week of remote learning, 16 plus hour days with coaching in person and remote learning, and then when you come back, you got to plan for the next day. Anyways, I haven't heard that one before. That's clever though. Like probably spearmint's green. Wintergreen is wintergreen. I just said green. Winterfresh. That was a blue gum, right? That's smart. Those like classic desk chairs without the arms, and the mid back. Of course, it's a mid back. It's not an executive chair for a teacher. Mid back for the plebs, the teacher plebs that have those desk chairs without the arms. It was probably one of those. If it was, let me know. Or if it wasn't, let me know. But I'm picturing it's for sure not leather or pleather, really. It's probably that crappy fabric, where there's always a stain somewhere, like on the back of the seat, and you're like, suspect. Sorry, I'm ripped right now. No, I'm not. Our next confession, Mr. Roebuck, that one student that you kept asking about when they would openly mock your voice when your back was turned to the board, it was me. Sorry. That's a rookie move. Mr. Roebuck. He should have known better. You never turn your back at least I don't turn my back to the board. I don't often write on the board, and if I do, I'm kind of to the side. And I think about that because my professor, Julie, when I was getting my master's degree, she told us, never turn your back. It's almost like when I tell my players, don't show a sign of weakness on the field. Don't show weakness. Don't turn your back on the class. No, my kids are fine. They're great. They can handle it. Anytime I'm using the whiteboard, which it's to help them at this point. And we're remote, so it doesn't matter. But Mr. Roebuck, rookie move. I'm assuming this is a while ago. I'm not going to out this person or their age. Would definitely never do that, especially for one. A little privilege for you there. Not to be outed, of course. So that's our student confessions. If you'd like to send in your own confession, you can send that to classroombrew@gmail.com or at classroombrew on social media, specifically Instagram and Twitter. Because what else is there? I guess facebook.com/classroombrew. You can send me a message there, but no one goes on Facebook. It's old. Anyways, we had our first, we're doing it. So if you don't know, I am also a football coach in addition to the other hats that I wear. And we got like 3 weeks to prepare our student athletes. Notice I said student before athletes. For this first game. And it's a 5-game season, which is a little more than half of what a season normally is. And Jesus, it was, I was already working as a coach, but I had to work like double time with like other shit. So they fight real hard and they give us all these hoops to jump through and all this shit. And then when we get to the stadium and we got to have 2 buses because our roster is like 20 on the dot. And so they want to be distanced. Okay, cool. We made it work. Kaboom. And we get there, and they're like, well, you can't go in yet. I'm like, fuck you mean? It's almost 4 o'clock. It's like 3:20 at this point. Game's at 4:15. We got to get in there, get them ready to go. And they're like, well, security isn't here, and the refs aren't here. All right, well, are they on their way? And I get they probably have a day job, too. But, like, we got to get in there and shit like that. We wound up waiting for about 30 to 45 minutes, and the kids had to wait on the bus. And it got to the point where, like, to help expedite the process, I was like, can we start taking temperatures now? Because they had to do a screener on their phones to get cleared, and then you confirm their temperature with the person or whatever. And so I'm literally sitting there I was like, anyone got a clipboard and paper? As I'm writing down, like we did it by jersey number, because they don't know, like we did jersey number so that they could identify who it was, and then I put the names in later. And just literally sitting there with this man that didn't understand Celsius versus Fahrenheit. He's like, 55 degrees Fahrenheit, you're good. You're below 100. Like, you're hypothermic, man. You're a dead body at this point. That's internal temp. And so I'm literally writing it down for all 20 people plus manager plus coaches, all that shit. Anyways, and then the refs get there and they're like, all right, you got 15 minutes to warm up. 15 minutes? That's not near that. It's like choosing a child on what warm-ups to do and what things to go over. Like, you're at this point putting players' safety at risk. Like, if they can't properly stretch and warm up, get used to the field that they haven't been on in at least a year. Like, literally, it's been over a year since their last game, especially with the strike. So it's from last year. It was absurd. And then they rushed through that. And then they have the fucking audacity to say, well, we're going to go running clock because the rosters are small for player safety. Fuck you, man. We've never had more than 13 in a game, and we've never done this running clock bullshit. So instead of getting 48 minutes of game time, they got like literally, I'm not even joking you, like 28 minutes of game time. So you bet your ass I sent an email not only to IHSA but also to the district football person, whatever, being like, here's what happened. This is unacceptable. They didn't even consult a single head coach. They just went ahead and did it. And when we asked her, we're like, yeah, we are. It's happening. No, it's not. That's not how that works. You can't just do. If a coach asks to go running clock because maybe they're getting embarrassed or shut out, whatever it is, and they just want to like hustle things along, then you ask the officials, hey, can we go running clock? And then the other coach says yes or no. Kaboom. They just went ahead and did it. So they show up late and then they rush us through because the next game wasn't for like a few hours. So why were you rushing us through if you like? Did you just want to go home early? Like don't waste our time. Don't waste the student athlete's time. If you're not going to do this season the way it needs to be, like do it right or don't fucking do it. That's it. My email, of course, was a lot more diplomatic. You know, my speech to the refs at the time when they told us we're doing this was not. Shout out to my AD, my athletic director, who was outside the stadium and was probably heard some of that. Hopefully not. I don't think so. We didn't even get spectators, which I understand. They let some people in, and it's all good. But they ignored the rules, and we had to follow all these things. And they didn't even screen them for temperatures, but they let them in. It's all good. Anyways, but yeah, just do it right, or don't do it. You know, it's disrespectful to the student athletes, to the coaches, the families that are putting their kids and trying to get them to and from school safely and all that. Like, what a clusterfuck. Like, honestly, taking a drink for this one. I don't know if anybody else is also an athletic coach and they've had this problem. I've never seen that decision made. It's the most horse shit, especially because they came late. So you cost us our warm-up time and then you rush us out of the game and also rushed us out of the stadium. I almost forgot. They were like, all right, go. You guys got to leave. So like we were in and out legitimately within an hour and a half, which is not like we could have been there for, if it was a normal game, we would have been there for an additional hour and a half. We were there half of the time. I've never felt so, like, don't fucking take the job as a ref. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out. Find something else to do. So I don't know if anyone's a ref that's listening. Maybe you can vouch for them, but at this point, no. Like, forget that. Like, I'm not the football head coach. I'm the second in command, so I'm not going to step on any toes. But there's a way that the head coaches can report that to IHSA, and I think we should do it. Like, I'm going to let Justin know. Hey, man. I think he already probably did. He was also he also sent an email. So 2 out of 3 coaches are sending emails. So that's 2 out of 4. 2 out of 5 coaches now. We have some assistant coaches that are volunteering. But a lot of energy, I guess. Went to the gym. Here's why. I went to the gym right before this, right after coaching and watching film from that game. That was Thursday was the game, and then Friday was the film/recovery day in practice that a lot of players didn't fucking go to, which is annoying, frustrating. Anyways, and on the way back from the gym, at a red light when we had the crosswalk green, some dipshit in like a retired cop/taxi car/cab decided to run a red and almost hit me and one other person. So I guess I'm jazzed up, even with some liquor in my system. To really show you, I played, to show my age, I played some Among Us with my 8th period the day before. So today, Friday before spring break, because they weren't going to do anything. Like, they weren't doing anything months ago for most classes. My 8th period's a lot better about that because they're my seniors that I've had for 3 years now. In Embark, wearing a jacket for it, actually. Shout out Embark. And we played Among Us, and I've seen it. I kind of get it. Like, you have tasks to do, and then one person is like the imposter, and they're sabotaging you, and then you got to vote to figure out who they are before they kill everybody. Like, I get it. But I didn't know like the logistics of it. So literally, it took me like 2-3 games to get it. And I told you like a couple weeks ago, my expiration date for being young is I knew it was coming, like where it's going to be easy and like I'm in the know. And with Among Us, it really showed itself. That expiration date is long gone. So they were at the spry age of 27 and a half. No, 27 and 3/4. I sound like I'm 4 years old when you count the 3/4. But the expiration date is for sure come and gone. So Among Us, that was a good time. Yeah. So let's make myself feel better. Let's talk about some boomers in our comment hero of the week. Welcome to the comment hero of the week.
When someone's being an ass in the comment section, but they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
What's going on is you failed fucking social studies.
Or when you see someone call that person out, they are our comment hero of the week. Yeah! Even though some heroes do call out those idiots, remember, don't call out a comment hero in the comment section. You can't fix them, and you can't fix stupid.
I literally had to look down at the recorder because I didn't hook up the second thing to the thing to see when the thing started and stopped the music. You know what I mean? I could have played it, but I just figured I estimated. You'll probably see me pause something if it doesn't time out nicely in post production because I'm lazy. Our comment hero of the week. Pam. Oh, Pam. Pam, I am. Pam, I am a dick kablam. Pam, I am a dick kablam. Just, I'm reading over some of her comments right now. Just super fun, gossipy dunce. You know, like you tell me how to teach, you're out to lunch. Yeah, we're rhyming in this one, I guess. Like I'm reading fuck it, let's rhyme it. Oopsie doopsie, this. Oopsie doopsie. This big old fat caboosey. There you go. Loosey, goosey, poopsie for my big old fat caboosey. No more rhyming, but yeah, shout out Betsy D. Go fall in a pit of standardized tests and P. Oh, that's a good one, Ryan. Betsy D and P. Betsy DeVos forever. Hashtag Betsy DeVos. So yikes. All right. So this was a post and it freezes. Cool. There we go. And I only have the screen. I'm not going to read it. Basically, it was from WBEZ, which is a Chicago area newspaper / whatever the hell. And it's tech snafus, muffled voices, and joy inside a hybrid classroom in Chicago. And Pam I am decides to say, too bad. Instead of focusing on the negative, try to think outside of the box. As if the teachers aren't thinking outside of the box. And someone pointed that out, by the way. So big shout out to the people in the comments that were responding to Pam I am. Saying her name is not actually Pam I am, but her first name is Pam. So figure that one out if you want to figure out who they are and put them on blast. Thinking outside the box is exactly what teachers have been doing for a year now. Nothing in this article suggests that teachers want to work from home. Other people are reiterating. And then, of course, Pam I am. Where is she at? There she is. All I know is that other districts are making it work. Chicago is one of the few that continues with the drama. Time for your nap, Grandma, they call her. Pam I am, you got called out there. Pam I am even goes as far to say that this is basically just like, she says, you should get creative with your job. And then someone responds, teachers have literally been creative about this. She goes, oh, great. Now just another excuse to stay home and not go in. What do you want, man? What do you want, Pam I am? What's your problem, Pam I am? Who hurt you, Pam I am? Did you have a teacher that was like, Pam, go sit in there. Go sit in that room alone. You're not allowed to come out until the end of the day. Go play in the sand by yourself. We didn't look to make sure there were no spare razors or whatever the fuck they put in sandbox. I never played in a sandbox. You could tell I don't know. Sabotaging it. What's it called? Among Us, the imposter sabotaging the sandbox. Go play in it, Pam. Okay. So Pam's upset because, you know, in her profession, where I'm sure they have better safety regulations, they're making it work. I'm sure probably her office of like 6 people, 2 of whom them are her cousins, maybe they're her romantic partners as well. Who knows? Pam I am. So I just want to give a big shout out to the people that, you know, we're calling Pam to the task, including one in particular who mentioned outside the box. I don't want to butcher this name. We'll just call her Miss B because her last name starts with a B. And she just put, you know, I've learned that if I block the troll on this page, it's a way more pleasant place to be. A suggestion for people wasting their time trying to reason with people who haven't even read the article before wagging their fingers at educators. So I love this. Like Miss B is like the actual, this lady from this comment section. She literally, she should be part of this segment. You know, if I could get a soundbite of her. So Miss B, if you're hearing this, your first name starts with S. I don't know if you, but if you want to be a part of this, just give me something, because that's the advice from this segment itself, saying, don't waste your time. You can't fix them. But I love the fact that she still found a way to say, because she clearly hasn't blocked this troll yet, but she has the time to say, like, just don't worry about it. This uneducated idiot that's trying to talk without reading the article. Probably didn't do the reading in college, too, when it was her discussion section, when they were hungover or whatever it is. So, Pam I am, Sam I am, go get some eggs and ham, or green eggs and ham, and, go sit in that leaking dam with the little Dutch boy and just wait for it to go kablam. Oh, that was good. Kablam. Shout out Betsy DeVos forever. Betsy, what was it? Betsy D. Betsy D. Fall in a pit of SATs and fall in a pit of SATs and P or some shit. I don't know. It came out worse. Somehow it came out worse. Shout out Betsy D though. No more rhyming. Okay. I'll try. But I do want to introduce one new segment that I'm going to give it a shot. And this is not going to be received well because people don't realize I'm well-intentioned. I'm just joking around. And of course, I want students to ask questions. There are no bad questions. But this one is called Are There Bad Questions? The Are There Bad Questions segment. So this is not, I've told this story before on the podcast and others, that and I teach high school, and they're below grade level for their reading and writing, which that's, no surprise. I knew that's what I was getting into before I took the job, and every single year since then, and it gets worse every year. Okay. Literacy teacher, basically, and the subject just happens to be social studies. But I had a student that asked me, not exactly, I'm paraphrasing, but it's something to the effect of, well, what is that word? And I go, which word? They went to it, and they went, THE, the. Let me get that real nice and clear in the microphone. A sight word, right? I literally, my sister Anna, who's been on the podcast, I literally had to ask her, like, how do I answer? Like, it's the word. She's like, it's a sight word. I guess it's not a bad question. It's a very good question. What is the? Who knows? What is the? What is the? Is the? Or is the just the? Is there a thing? Is there a thing? There, and there? Why? Maybe it's a great question. Who knows? You got me. You stumped me. So never mind. It's a great question. Change the name of the segment. Roll it back. Another one. And what you can do if you have maybe a bad question, and don't feel shame. Don't feel shame. We're all just having good fun. We're not actually saying there are notice I said bad questions or perplexing questions. That should be the new name of the segment. Perplexing questions. We won't name the segment. We'll just call it questions that made you go, huh? Or something. Who knows? So, and I quote, this is from this week. So the claim is like the author's claim when he's saying his claim, right? Sure. Yes. The claim is the claim when the author's saying the claim, when it's time to say the claim in the claim section of the sentence where he's saying the claim. Yeah, it's something like that. You got it. Instead of walking a straight line from A to B, you took a few turns. That's okay. I've missed my exit before on the highway and had to loop-de-loop. That's what you did. You looped on a few exit and entrance ramps, missed it a few times, but you got to your destination. It's all good. Shout out Betsy D. Common Core is dead. Anyways. Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to my alma mater from my undergrad. Shout out UIC for grad school. But my undergrad, who they've already told me, like, you should sacrifice to help another student. Meanwhile, are you still paying your student loans at however many grand per month? And this is a text that I got. The audacity of them to try to text me. It's almost like, again, it's over. Like, this is a relationship that's years in the past. Like, I've moved on. I've gotten my master's degree, so that bachelor's is kind of, it's just like, I don't even mention that one anymore. We know it's there because they assume if they see the MA. But Derek, fuck you, Derek, man. This is Derek from the University of Iowa. Today is one day for Iowa. This is a text I'm reading, by the way. The University of Iowa's 24-hour online giving day. Who was giving to me when I was a student there? When was this a thing? Did you know there is an Iowa club in your area? And the club supports scholarships for students near you. Well, that's fucking great. Because my scholarships, even on a half ride, I'm still paying off student loans. So Derek, I even responded to this. I put this on social media with the John Mulaney thing, where they were like, hey, you can just sacrifice these conveniences in your life that you've earned the right to have, and maybe you indulge in it, even though you just went and spent $1,500 or $2,000, whatever your student loan payment is. But you can give to somebody else, right? And you know what? Pay it forward's all fine and good, but not when it comes to college. How about you lower your tuition rate? Do you really need that new dorm room? Meanwhile, the other dorms are falling apart, and I've got 2 sinks with the hot water and the freezing cold water, and I got to go back and forth so I don't get hypothermia or hyperthermia or just boil my skin off. So no, I'm not paying it forward this time. You want to donate to your alumni association, more power to you. Me, personally, not. That's it. Yeah. Anyway, energy. I talked about that survey a couple weeks ago, where it was like, how many hours do you spend per week contacting families? And it was like the lowest option was like 0 to 2 or like 0 to 3, something where it's like, that's the normal amount. I'm not going to spend 24 plus hours per week. Like, stop shaming us. But the other one that I thought, and I don't think the person meant any harm, but somebody in a meeting, they were asking us, like, who can take lead on these meetings? Like, who can be this team level lead or whatever it was? And, my name and 2 other names were called upon. And I was like, you know what? I've got a lot on my plate. You've seen my stupid long email signature. I got to say no here. I'm learning to say no. I'm getting better about it. Legitimately got like 16-hour days at this point. I don't need another meeting that I've got to lead in addition to the department one and then my other instructional coaching stuff and the mentor syncs and then coaching itself for sports and stuff like that. And then going to the different coaching meetings to make sure that we have the COVID guidelines. And then, of course, my own classes and prepping and planning and living a life and going to the gym afterwards. And sorry, but no. And then, of course, I get a condescending response from someone. I don't think they realized that they were being condescending, saying like, well, I have a lot on my plate too, but I'm going to put my students and what this could do to benefit them ahead of those things. Fuck you so hard. Fuck you so hard. Collegial colleague, maybe you read the room. Also, maybe if you're newer, maybe, I don't know, figure out who I am and the many hats that I wear before you go and try to say like, well, what a fucking asshole he is for saying no. Like, I've seen this on Instagram. Can we stop romanticizing and normalizing this idea of being overworked as a teacher being a good thing? Start saying no. That's if there's my claim for the episode. The claim, when the author's saying the claim in the sentence where he's saying the claim with the claim, when he's stating the claim and the claim that is the claim where I'm stating the claim, my claim now is start saying no to meetings and different responsibilities. Honestly. And if someone tries to shame you, just say, hey, check out episode 190 of Classroom Brew. And they'll be like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's a small podcast. It's all. Big shout out to our Patreon members. If you tell me what, if you've got a rhyme, you want to get out your like common, your version of Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean with the lotion. Zooming out of the, I don't know. You want to send your rhyme, send me a rhyme on social media at Classroom Brew or classroombrew@gmail.com. Send me a rhyme of what you're currently frustrated with teaching or what you're happy about with teaching. I don't know. Send me a teaching related rhyme and I'll read them off on the podcast. Other than that, patreon.com/classroombrew. Big shout out to our Patreon members. You'll hear that Patreon tribute, of course, on the audio and you'll see it on the video. And that's about it. Give us a rating and review. I don't know if it means anything, but who cares? And if you want to see that bonus content, again, Patreon, podcast merch and shit like that, you'll see that there as well. But until next week, I'm going to finish this drink and I will see you next week. So class is officially dismissed. Is that what we say? Class dismissed.
Classroom Brew on Patreon. Koozies and coasters, shot glasses, bonus content and voting power. Lish Cromwell from Minnesota has 1,000 classrooms. That shit is crazy, but that's Minnesota. Leo Sanchez got a lot of land. He's been on the pod. It was really grand. He's teaching in person during COVID. Sabrina Bachman from Ohio teaches French class, but I don't remember French. Sorry for my teacher who taught me French. You were really cool, but that was years ago. This dude beat cancer, getting real strong. He posts it on the gram, he's a real badass. James Biner, that's fucking right, James Biner. Cindy Montoya from California, Lazy Teacher Podcast, that's a bad look. Definitely not lazy, big time podcast fan. Melinda Bradley, she's from Florida, wore PPE for her staff photo. That's Melinda Bradley. Classroom Brew, check it out on patreon.com.